Long, long ago, in a land far, far away, I had the privilege of serving as the commissioner of the LPGA. Then, as now, we had a group of wonderful young women who were also very talented golfers. Then, as now, among that exceptional group of young ladies was the gloriously talented Laura Davies. And then, as now, there was and is no one quite like Dame Laura. Laura started playing golf when she was 14, and her brother Tony let her tag along with him and his friends. In her early amateur days, her mom Rita and stepfather Mike drove her all over the country, and she says that, and I will quote, "Without them, I would never have happened." Her dad Dave followed Laura at many events. My wife and I often walked the rope lines with her dad. He never put any pressure on Laura. He just loved watching her play, and didn't we all? There is neither time nor need to recite endless statistics of Laura's amazing career, but a few are absolutely essential to note. 83 worldwide victories, 4 majors, winners of the Ladies European Tour Order of Merit a record 7 times, first player, male or female, to win on 5 different tours in 1 calendar year, and an unmatched record in Solheim Cup play. And, of course, just recently being made a dame by the Queen. But it was in 1987 that she stunned and reshaped the world of women's golf. Laura won the U.S. Women's Open as a non-member of the LPGA, leading the tour to change its constitution and regulations to grant her membership. She then led the LPGA onto the worldwide stage, as well as introducing the option to play on the LPGA Tour to her fellow European players. But it wasn't just the results of her play that made Laura unique. It was how she played. Her inimitable style, her strength, her power, her boldness. I always thought of Laura as playing with controlled abandon. Beyond all of this, and more important than all of this, is Laura herself. Gracious, warm, loving life, and living it to the fullest every day. Driving her Porsche on the Autobahn, organizing games with the local pro teams at tour stops, the occasional visit to a nearby casino. Laura was always eager for the next adventure. Indeed, Joanne Carner, when once asked by Louise Mayer about Laura, said that Laura played golf at a pace to suggest that she had more pressing business at the end of the round. I have always believed that the best measure of a person is how they are regarded by their peers. So I asked several great LPGA players to give me their thoughts on Laura. Sherry Steinhauer, twice winner of the Women's British Open, noted that Laura is a genuine, soft-spoken, kind-hearted, but fierce, powerful competitor who is always cordial and friendly with her playing partners. Annika Sorenstam says that she always admired Laura as the leader and the face of the Ladies European Tour for so many years. She smiled when she remembered their playing as partners in Solheim Cup play. Their styles were so totally different that they thought of themselves as the odd couple. Laura's role model was always Nancy Lopez. Nancy told me that she loved playing with Laura, but simply couldn't watch her tee off because that meant that Nancy would try to out-hit her, and that was not going to happen. She went on to say she has great regard for Laura's sportsmanship and, I quote, "Laura is one of my favorites of all time," end quote. Let me close with this, with a fervent prayer that I'm not breaching any royal protocol, and with apologies to Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein for borrowing a few lyrics from one of their great songs from South Pacific. I simply cannot think of a better way to conclude this tribute. There is nothing like this dame, nothing in the world. There is nothing you can name that is anything like this dame. I'm available for bookings. My agent is Alistair Johnston, who's here. I am just deeply honored to be here tonight, to be with all of you and all my good friends and such a great outpouring of the golf world. Unfortunately, Laura was not able to get here in spite of every effort, simply because this weekend she competed in the Women's Open, U.S. Open, at Lancaster Country Club, and she did quite well, made the cut, played well. Then the airlines failed to cooperate, despite every effort by her and the Hall of Fame personnel. It just didn't make it. But I know exactly what she would want me to say beyond what I said in those few words you just heard. And that is that she is deeply honored, especially as a Brit, to be included in this incredible organization. And especially, I know she would want me to congratulate David and Mark and the Tillinghast family as part of her pledge class. I can't imagine that she would be any more comfortable with any group than with those three people. I also want to take the opportunity to say that this is one of the finest young women that I have ever known. When I joined the LPGA and as its commissioner in 1990, had 5 years of really wonderful experiences, most of all getting to know these young women and becoming friends with them and understanding so much more about them than I had before. When I retired at the end of '95, at my retirement party, I remember saying, I want you gals to know that I stand here now as the world's only Republican, gray-haired, 65-year-old feminist. And I still feel that way. And if you had to go to the top of the list of people that you remember, it would be Laura. Warm, gracious, worlds of fun, and a real tribute to her organization. I think that the Hall of Fame is exactly where she belongs. And we were a little worried that perhaps Laura wouldn't be able to make it because things happen. So she did a message, just in case it would happen, from Lancaster, PA, and we have it for you.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, a massive apology for not being there today. Obviously something I really didn't want to miss, but circumstances have put us in this position. A lot of thank yous. It's my chance really to thank everybody that's helped me get to this position after 31 years traveling the road. And for Charlie Mechem, it has to be the first person I thank, because the presentation he's done for me today in presenting me to you all, he's a great friend. I've known Charlie for a very long time, and when I was asked who I'd like to do this, there was no real choice. Charlie was the one. He was great friends with my dad when my dad was around and on tour, and I think they spoke a little bit about the Hall of Fame, and it's something my dad always wanted for me. So I know he's not here with us, but I know he'd be very proud and he'd be very pleased that Charlie was the one who'd introduced me tonight. Lots of other thank yous. My family, obviously, my brother Tony, my stepdad Mike, Mother Rita. In the early days, in the amateur days, they were shuffling me around all over the country in England, getting me to all the tournaments. And without that start and the way they supported me, they never put pressure on me. They always just supported me. So I want to thank Rita, Mike and Tony for all that time, all those years ago. We never knew we'd be here now, but here we are. A bit scary, but we made it. To all my other friends and family who are not only in the audience tonight, but also watching on TV. I'll be watching it on TV as well, I guess. But thank you to all your support. Again, no one ever put any pressure on me, and I think that's why I've been lucky enough to last this long, because it's just been support and confidence building from everybody, and I really appreciate everything they've all done. onto my caddies now. I know there's a few there. If I'm delayed, a lot of them will be delayed as well, so they won't be there. But to those who have come up, I've been on tour 31 years, as I said, and they've been great. They've not just been my caddies, they've been my friends. I spend time with them off tour. And when I invited them all, I didn't expect anyone to come. I thought they'd all just say, no, I've got to do something else. But a lot of them wanted to be there, and that's a really nice thing for me. And so, yes, I do appreciate all their support and all their great numbers, and not such good green reading on some of their cases. But we've done well on the course together over the years. So, again, massive thank you. And to the Hall of Fame people, not something I enjoy this side of the goal. I like to be the centre of attention on the course, not off the course. But they've made things easy for me. I went to see the Hall of Fame, and I think for the first time I really appreciated how important the whole thing was. Seeing Gary Player's exhibition with his 4 majors and knowing that I'm now going to be part of that is a lovely thing. And I just want to thank Brodie and all his team and everyone there, Jack, for making this process so easy for me, and something I'm not that comfortable with. And I suppose the last thank you is to any of the golf fans out there who've supported me as I walk down the fairways all over the world. They've been absolutely brilliant. I've had a few people shout nasty things at me over the years, but probably deserve them for being miserable and grumpy on the course. But overall, I've had unbelievable support. So it's just a chance for me to thank everybody that helped me get to this position. To David, to Mark O'Meara and Mr. Tillinghurst, it's great to be going into the Hall of Fame with you in the class of 2015. Such great professionals. It's an honour to be put into the Hall of Fame with you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. And again, sorry I'm not there.
Before I leave the mic, I have one regret and one unexpected opportunity. The regret is that I hoped when they strapped this little lapel mic on that I would sound like John Hopkins. There's a patent there somewhere to make somebody sound like a Brit. The opportunity is one I really never expected to have. I used to have a recurring dream that someday I would be in the Golf Hall of Fame. But then I'd wake up and I'd say to myself, good God, Charlie, the only way you'll ever get in to the Golf Hall of Fame is to steal the trophy. So, Laura, this is for you.